Holy Jesus, what's going on here? Fire everybody, for Christ's sakes. I kicked him for a goal, Jimmy.
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Blueshirt Underground Show. A little Ranger Crisis throwing back, way back into the annals or the annals, if you prefer. My name is Jim. Today is Wednesday, February the 17th. Ladies and gentlemen, on the other side of the window, the one and only Eddie the Mouth Guy. Eddie, how are you, sir?
How you doing there, Jimmy? Holy manoli, the Rangers are bad. Fading. Woo! Well, that was certainly a disappointment.
But not a surprise.
Well, it was. We were here 2 days ago saying they better whitewash him. I remember we were talking about they better kill him. What the fuck happened?
Just a pitiful performance last night by the New York Rangers. Losing 5-2 to the what was it? Was it the Albany Swamp Rats? Is that their AHL team? No, they're not in Albany anymore, are they? I don't know.
Utica, I think.
Utica. The Utica Swamp Monsters.
I mean, they had Maury Povich, Merkley, Berkeley, and just
Maltsev.
You know.
Two of those guys that scored last night were sent back to the AHL today. Pack your bags.
I didn't even know that. That's bad.
I just read that somewhere before we went on the air. Two of those guys were sent back to the AHL.
Maybe we should send some of these guys to the AHL. Our guys.
Nina Blackwood stifling the Rangers again. Oh, Joe.
Well, he's not a bad goaltender. I mean, but
not
again,
against us.
What?
Not against us.
No, I mean, his stats are pretty good for the limited 4 games the Devils played this year.
Right.
But, I mean, it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment that they can't put pucks behind the net. Of course, it's the Muckers, the Colin Blackwells of the world who are able to muster goals. But no, none of the guys making over $4 million, they don't do nothing.
Not the Fat Cats.
Nothing. Zero. I don't know.
I have video from Facebook. Chris Kreider talking to the media last night after the game, talking about how they didn't want it enough, how the performance is unacceptable. How about you get more than one goddamn shot on goal? I have had it with Chris Kreider. Done.
How about you not take a stupid penalty every game? He doesn't draw any penalties.
He hasn't drawn one yet this year.
That's right.
He's taken 6.
He's taken
Done.
6 penalties. You done with him?
Done.
Finny?
I've seen enough. In the words of the great Anthony Riga, I've seen enough.
That is especially galling from the guy who is representative of that type of play, calling out the team when it's really him.
Right. Well, I can play the video. We can watch it if you want.
Let me watch it. I want to get aggravated. More aggravated.
All right. Let's go find it here. Hold on. Let me just check which one of these. Okay. It's that one. And we share the screen. This
season's going down the shitter now with the injuries now. It's getting like beyond it's the Beyond Burger right now.
Chrome tab, Facebook, share audio, share. Oh, we got one too many up here.
Well, I just
Cancel.
And it's the
go.
same fucking. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
Oh God, I gotta look at this fucking skinny bastard. Look at him. He looks like a little kid there.
You guys were able to generate some good chances, got a few things going offensively, but did it feel like your team struggled to match their intensity through 60 tonight?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty on the nose. I mean, they play up tempo, they play fast, they stretch the ice out. We saw it the first time we played them, but that's a team that's coming off a 2-week break. I realized they probably were pretty excited to get back to playing hockey, but
he looks like Mirror Universe Spock.
That's an unacceptable start for the majority of the game. They out-hit us, out-skated us, outworked us, won more battles. I mean, yeah, the chances aside, we got away from the things that we were doing well. They flat out wanted it more. It's unacceptable.
Next question comes from Dan Rosen with NHL.com. Dan, go ahead.
Former guest of the show.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, you said a lot right there, but this is a team, your team was looking to take a step this year. You played 14 games, you have 4 wins. I wonder, why do you think it's such a slog right now for you guys to just find a way to get some points? Like, what is it about, what's not clicking right now?
13 of those games, in my mind, were a step backwards to take 2 steps, 3 steps, a giant leap forward. We corrected a lot of the things that we were doing pretty poorly last year from a defensive side. And we were doing those things defensively consistently. And to have gotten away from it tonight, it's just a massive opportunity wasted, and we all have to hate this feeling. I know I sound like a broken record. I've sat here and said this over and over, but you can't do some things well and then get away from it and be excited because you generated a little offense. You got to build on the foundation, and the most upsetting thing is that we got away from those things that we were doing well tonight.
And last one for Chris comes from Mike Mancuso. Mike, go ahead.
Chris, how much more does it hurt that when you are struggling to score goals, you aren't able to generate any power play opportunities in a particular game? I imagine that hurts as well.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't help.
Are we keeping you, Chris? Are we keeping you from something?
That's enough.
He's very fiery.
I'm as bored with him as he is. The way he sounds in that interview, that's how I feel about him. I'm bored with him.
That's how he plays.
Sorry. I know Patty Duke, I know you love him. Jen, I know you love him. I'm done. Seen enough. 1 fucking shot on goal last night. 1. How does your first line winger, your first line guy, how does he get 1 shot on goal? How does he not get as many shots on goal as Julien Gauthier when Julien Gauthier has 2/3 of his ice time? Zibanejad had 4 shots on goal. Buchnevich had 3 shots on goal. How does Chris Kreider only get 1 shot on goal?
You're going against the great Will Butcher.
Right. Oh, is that what it was?
4 days.
Abdullah the Butcher. Abdullah the Butcher.
Abdullah the Butcher. He's going, he hasn't played in 364 days. Just say a year, please. Do we really have to be that exact? And of course, he scores. This was a game. Okay. It was 2-2 at one point. It looked like it might go to overtime, but then things got out of hand real quick.
When they tied it at 1, it looked like they were taking over the game. Then they let the Devils get a fluke goal. It's 2-1. And then they tied it at 2, and again, it looked like they were going to take over the game. And then again, they just let the Devils score. And then they let them score again. And then it was dead in the water. Dead in the water. This team is dead in the water. So I'm going to ask you, because this is starting to gain momentum in Rangerland.
No.
Where are you on this coach right now? Eddie Geik.
I'm not going. I still think what the Rangers are doing, it's the players' fault. The players get paid to score. If they can't score, there's no system or anything that's going to change them. a new coach comes in, unless they've tuned out the coach. But I just don't. It's the players. Zibanejad he's terrible. Like, he can't put the puck in the net. Kreider, your new coach going to wake him up. Maybe he needs to be moved. I don't
know how many coaches do we have to do we need for Chris Kreider? I mean, this would be his fourth as a New York Ranger. I mean, what's going to wake him up?
Eddie Cornelius guy.
Eddie Yukon Cornelius.
Yes. First of all, Gorton and Davidson are not even thinking about firing Quinn. So you can forget about that, Ranger fans. It's not happening. So do I personally think it's the coach? No. It's players underperforming, players who may have had career years last year, or just, I mean, I hate to go blame everything on injuries, but you had no Panarin the last couple of games. Filipino was playing really well before he got hurt. Now you've got Jacob Trouba now going to be out 4 to 6 weeks.
That's true bad.
It's true bad. I mean, him and Keandre Miller. Actually, Keandre Miller, who didn't play last night also, but will be playing in the upcoming games. Yeah, actually, Keandre Miller settled Trouba down.
You're confirming Keandre Miller is in the lineup tomorrow night?
I'm not confirming. It's just what I've read.
Do you have anonymous sources on that?
No, I'm not going there. So it's turned into a real fucking shit show really fast. So on the coach, I don't think a coach. What, they fire him and they bring in Jack Martin. Say everybody, a lot of Ranger fans get their wish. Well, it's going to be Jack Martin who comes in.
More than likely.
You think that's really going to jumpstart the Rangers into a playoff team when they're not even really have their designs on making the playoffs?
Well, that was the question I had during the recap last night. What I don't know what good it even does right now. You are 14 games. You're at the quarter pole, so you're 14 games into a 56 game season. Does a new coach come in here and go 42? Does a new coach come in here and go 30-12 to vaunt them into a fourth place to finish the season?
It's the veterans that stink. See, that's the thing. I mean, all right. Granted, Alex Lafreniere, to me, again, I'm just mystified. Now, going to Kakko, had a great game last night. Best game as a Ranger, I thought.
Agreed, but my question is, when do these great games by Kakko start turning into goals by Kakko?
Right.
I need, it's great that he's having great games, but we need a goal here and then.
Right. No. I agree. The bar is not like it is for a defenseman, where you can play really well and that's all you have to play. You don't really have to put the puck in the net.
Right.
His job is to put the puck in the net.
Right. I mean, he's very dynamic when he's on the ice. I think we all see that, but the puck's got to start going in the net. I thought that line played very well last night.
The Strome, Kakko, Lafreniere?
Yes. I thought all three of them played very well, but got to start finding some goals.
Well,
Ryan Strome batted one in with his hand. That didn't count.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. To me, it's for the lack of a better word, the fat cats. The guys you're getting paid to score. You got to do it. I don't care how good the goalie is. You got to pot some goals. My nose keeps itching every time I come on this show. Usually when you're in a fight, people want to fight me.
No power plays last night. Not that the power play's been that good, but it's a sign you're not working very hard.
No.
When you're not drawing any penalties, that's a sign you're not working real hard.
And there weren't a lot of penalties. I was like, wow, they didn't call that.
Right.
Jim, I mean, where are you on the coach? That's the bigger question.
I think I wouldn't fire him now because I don't think it does any good. But I don't think it's a stretch to say he should be on notice for the next 40 games. I think he better get this turned around and at least get them to, I think this should be, I thought this should be, and I still think this should be a 500 hockey team. It's not a playoff team, but it shouldn't be a 4-8 or whatever. What are they? 4-8-2, 4-9-2, 4-4-28. I don't know what they are. Hey, Tanner. Yes, you can. Go ahead. Okay, bye. Do you want to talk about the Rangers, Tanner? No. Okay, neither do I. She said no.
I mean, where is the underground crowd on this? On thinking about jettisoning David Quinn, which is not going to happen. He's going to be with the Rangers until the end of the year. I think it's a triumvirate of Gorton, JD, and him working with this youth. I mean, we've seen some progress with some guys. That I don't think it's about winning, although it's starting to get a little old the way they're losing.
Don, I don't think 500 is a stretch in this division. I mean, even if the Islanders, the Islanders are, you could win some games against the Islanders. They already have, they beat the Islanders once. They should be able to beat the Devils. They should be able to beat the Sabres on occasion. They should be able to, get one here and then from the Flyers and the Penguins. Yeah, I think they could be a 500 team. I think that's what they are this year.
Buffalo has fallen off a lot. The Devils are rebuilding, I think. I don't. 500 is not, especially with if you wanted to base it off last season and how much the Rangers would score. Costa brought this up earlier. He kind of said that if Quinn couldn't get this team to score, because he wanted to see the Rangers, he knew they weren't going to win. Again, I'm not lauding Costa's. Well, maybe I am, but he said he better not see 2-1 and the young guys can't score. I wonder if he's changed his mind on that. But it's come to fruition. These games are boring. They're dull. They're infuriating, and I have to go to sleep mad because of this. I don't need this in my life. I need Mika Zibanejad to score. I need Chris Kreider to wake up. Just wake up. Again, maddening.
And yeah, another argument for being a 500 team. Look at all these 1-goal games they're losing. If anybody is putting the puck in the net in a couple of these games, they're not losses. Maybe they split with Boston. Maybe they take both games from Boston.
We're not as good as Boston.
We're not as good as Boston. Well, they're not, but those games were still winnable games. Those games were still winnable games.
No, I agree. There are a lot of games they could have won, they should have won, but that's for losers. That's a loser's excuse. And right now they're playing like a bunch of losers. They don't know how to win. I haven't seen a year where more stupid goals go in on them. I mean, and there's no error for margin to be listless. It's a shortened season. I don't know. They're in a fog. And to hear what Kreider says, and he says it with no fire in his belly, and not that he's mad. He talks more like a coach than a player. Are the Rangers completely flaccid without Panarin in the lineup? Is that it? We give up? No bread, man? It's just and now with this Trouba injury, again, it's not looking good. Now Trouba has been up and down this year and hasn't played, up to his potential, I think, but it's still going to hurt because then you got to move somebody up and then you got to worry about that the Jack Johnson effect coming back on, playing the sixth defenseman spot. It could happen. No, the bottom line is I don't know what the underground weighed in on, but I'm not firing David Quinn, and there really shouldn't be sometimes the onus has to go on the players. I mean, in this sports culture, we continually blame the coaches. We want the coaches out. We want this and that. But come on, scoring should be a natural thing. It should be something you're a talent. You can't teach scoring. Is that what it's been a hockey mantra for years and years and years. You can't coach scoring. So you can't. You put Jacques Martin in. Is it make him cry to score? Is it going to make Zibanejad? What is he got? 1 goal? Whatever he's got. He's putrid. He can't buy a goal, and the Rangers aren't dynamic at all. It's just I don't know, Jim. I mean, people got to wake up. That's all I could say. I don't think a coach matters in this situation. And I don't think the organization is looking to make the playoffs. They're looking to see some development. But on the flip side of that, if I may just conclude, you want to see development in your forwards as well. And like you said, Kakko's got to score. Second year now. Lafreniere has to score. I'm sorry. This can't be the toughest hill. We're not trying to take the hill in World War II here to save the Allied forces. Just scoring a goal, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Just score a goal. Everybody does it. Rupee Hintz does it when he plays. That guy, Seltzer, whatever his name was, Meltzer, what was his called?
Maltsev.
He can do it. Plenty of the yeah. Anders Lee does it 7 times. JG Peugeot's done it 7 times on the Islanders. And we got 1 goal from Zibanejad. You got all these guys around the league scoring. But it's such a mountain to climb to get a goddamn goal in a game. Third periods haven't been good either.
The Rangers have not scored a power play goal since February 1st, which was the first game after Tony DeAngelo was waived. They have not scored a goal since then. So that's, I believe,
Black History Month.
6 games.
How ironic.
And they are 2-4 without Tony DeAngelo.
All right. Let me say something about this. God bless you, Tony DeAngelo. Thank you for your service. But you people got to stop. And this even means to people that I really respect their opinion. Stop. The Rangers had no choice to get rid of this guy.
Oh,
they
I
didn't
agree.
have a contingency plan on the fly to lose an offensive defenseman. They just didn't. I don't think many teams do. Okay? So the fact that the Rangers haven't scored on the power play, yeah, maybe it's because Tony DeAngelo. But Tony DeAngelo screwed up. He screwed up his opportunity.
Absolutely.
Listen, I mean, I could give you 6 million reasons why he should have never screwed up. You're getting paid to play hockey. Just play hockey. Was he made an example of? Probably. But he was warned. So I'm not going to blame it on the Rangers for getting rid of Tony DeAngelo, because Tony DeAngelo made his own bed. He was jettisoned. The Rangers are left with a problem because of it. Maybe I should dislike Tony DeAngelo more because he screwed it up, and he screwed the Rangers up, and he screwed me up because I got to watch a 2-minute power play of nothing. So I'm not all about Tony DeAngelo. It's a dead and gone issue. He's gone. I don't want to hear about it. I want to hear about it when he's traded. I don't want to hear about him anymore. I'm sorry. We've beaten it to death. Yes. Does it hurt the power play? I agree. I mean,
the aftermath of him being waived has been twofold. The defense has played much better, but the power play has been much worse. Rock, to answer your question, 11 goals in 6 games. Rock asked, how many goals have they scored since Tony DeAngelo was waived? The answer is 11 goals in 6 games, 4 of them coming in 1 game.
It wasn't even like Tony DeAngelo was playing that well when he left.
Not really.
Okay. Certainly, all those points he gained last year made the power play. What were they? Finished 7th or 8th overall last year. Certainly. But it's gone. You can't live in the past. They weren't ready for DeAngelo to fuck up and be canceled. It wasn't like they were ready. Oh, we're getting ready, Tony. Getting ready to there. Let's trade for Erik Karlsson. Let's get him in here. He's struggling too, but we could make a deal. They have no answer for it until Niels Lundqvist gets here, or or some of. Right now, they are lacking an offensive defenseman, which you need to have in this league. You need to have guys. They got Adam Fox. He's okay. He's a well-rounded defenseman, but they don't have a guy who really can move the puck, make that stretch pass. They don't have that, and it's going to suffer. But whose fault is it? I don't think it's the Rangers' fault. I mean, I feel like, listen, I think you guys, people, I'm talking about that champions of Tony DeAngelo, you make some great points, but the bottom line is he's not here anymore. So it's dead and done. We've got to move on. That's the way I look at it. I mean, what are we going to count the wins and losses since Tony DeAngelo left the game?
I just did. I just did. They're 2-4. They're 2-4.
How about Brady Shea? What's our record without Brady Shea? I mean, listen, the reason it's so frustrating. So how many games we played this year? What we played? 14?
14 games.
14 games. The 3 games in the bubble, except for a few games, the 5-0s, the 4-0s. They've played like 17 straight games. They've played like 13 straight games that totally anemic offensively. And it's getting frustrating. And that's my opinion with the DeAngelo thing. I mean, I got to move on. I can't be. Yes. Is it suffering? Yes.
Here's a question for you. Which center, not including Colin Blackwell, which center on the New York Rangers is leading the team in face-off percentage? Face-off wins percentage.
Let me guess, because I hate him, Brett Howden.
Brett Howden.
Who cares?
It's almost 50%.
Wonderful.
Ryan Strome is 40%
face-offs.
Brett Howden made a nice pass on that goal last night.
Stop.
Second goal. I know. Yeah, he's terrible.
Stop the apologists.
I'm not apologizing.
I saw that pass. Oh, now everybody's going to reference that pass when defending him.
It was a nice pass.
Yeah, one pass. Great. Give him a cookie.
He's got more assists than Chris Kreider.
Chris Kreider stinks.
He's got more assists than Filipino.
Wow, Filipino's been out for 2 weeks. Brett Howden. Stop making a case for that loser. He's terrible.
He's not terrible.
He's absolutely horrible. I see more out
he's a fourth line guy. That's all he is.
I see more out of DiGiuseppe. I see more out of Gauthier. I see more out of Blackwell than I ever see about Howden. Howden stinks. What does he do?
He doesn't
have
love.
A good shot. He's not a good skater. He wins 50% of the faceoffs. Whoopee.
Nobody else could do that.
Oh, well, guess what? Sign him to a 6-year deal because you want that 50%.
Might as well. Nobody else could do it. He's the best face-off guy on the team.
Terrible. It's like finishing last in the Olympics.
Okay.
Well, he made the Olympics, but he was last. Who cares? He stinks.
No love for Brett Howden.
I hate him now. When things get bad, I the guys I really just Keep coming up with your little stats that tells me how great Brett Howden is. How he plays pinochle on Wednesdays with the old people. Tell me all the great things he does. This guy is useless.
He's not useless.
All right, I'm not going to be gaslit with it. Come on. If you're defending Brett Howden, please.
I'm just saying he's not that big. Everybody would think expects him to be Gretzky, and that's not who he is.
Like Jed Ortmeyer, as far
He's
as
a
I'm
fourth line guy.
He's a fifth line guy.
Our third and fourth lines are not the problem.
Yeah, well, I don't see Brett Howden scoring. I see all these.
That's not his job. His job is the forecheck.
You think it's Colin Blackwell's job to score?
Well, apparently he does it very well.
He does, right? I mean, even these guys could score, but our regulars can't score. Yeah, I'm not going to – listen, do I think the Rangers axe Brett Howden all of a sudden they're great? No. I'm just really upset. I'm really upset that this team is wasting my time. When I watch the game, I want to be happy. Don't waste my time.
See? One goal away from Mika Zibanejad.
That's another thing. Yeah. The worst disappointment. He's one goal away from the worst disappointment of the year.
No love for Brett Howden.
No. It's over. Can't wait till they get rid of that. Howdy doody. Well, do you think it's Quinn? You don't think it's Quinn?
I think it's a lot of things. I just don't think firing him right now. I just don't think it does any good.
No, because I think by the
I don't think a new coach is going to have magic pixie dust and all of a sudden the puck's going to start going in for Mika Zibanejad and Chris Kreider and Pavel Buchnevich and Brett Howden.
See Buchnevich on that goal? He wouldn't even smile. He's
fucking miserable. He's miserable.
I think he's just miserable because they're losing. He was kind of last year. He was starting to get a little bit smiley. But, Captain Happy there is back to his miserable, ugly puss.
He ain't smiling no more.
Yeah, I love how again, I talked about this on the last show. He played 22 minutes against the Bruins, and all of a sudden, the next game, well, he's on the fourth line.
Right.
Quinn's had this is what happened in the one game in the practice. Meanwhile, me and you and the rest of the underground, we knew Buchnevich was struggling like the last couple of games. What are they, new to the party? If you're listening, David, send Brett Howden down now.
Send him down fast. Send him down how?
Send him down how? Bring up, what you call it? The Baron boy.
Corey Locke.
Corey Locke, he's ready. He scores tremendous amounts in the AHL. Stephen King, bring him up.
Darryl Powell.
Darryl Powell.
Chad Kolarik, there's a good one. Chad Kolarik intake.
The caloric intake, that's right. Anyway, so I mean that's
Justin was texting me last night, fire Quinn. He's been on the fire Quinn train for a year and a half now. I said, you would have fucking fired Mike Keenan 10 games into 1993.
He's wanted every coach gone.
Every coach fired. I told him he's a spoiled Yankee fan.
I mean, I'm used to losing. Every team I root for loses.
Never enough body count for Justin. Fire them all. Whack this one, whack that one. He's the Lorraine Caluso of the Ranger fandom. And we'll see if anybody knows who Lorraine Caluso is. Test the pop culture references of the group.
Tony Stanziano with an Andre DeVoe. Belle Biv DeVoe.
Belle Biv DeVoe.
That black gentleman that played for the Rangers.
Very good, Rock. Rock knew it. Sopranos. Thank you.
it's just listen. I I got no answers. These guys got to score. That's it.
Jamie Skidmark. Here come the references. Dan Locatour is another good one.
Dan Locatour, yeah. I will say this. Christian Dubé, yes. He was a high draft pick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Him in the first rounder.
Him and Lundmark.
Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. I don't know why I said hey. You know what I really like as an announcer now? You catch him on this NHL network, is this Kevin Weeks? He really is a lot of fun. He's a good guy. Get him in the booth.
You like him?
I like him, yeah.
All right.
I like anybody who's got a little bit of sense of humor and knows what they're talking about. Not like those two goons we had here yesterday. Talking about Ty Smith like he was freaking Bobby Orr. Oh, Joe, he looks that Ty Smith.
Kenny Albert. Why was Kenny Albert doing the Devils broadcast last night?
Kanji's got the COVID.
Well, we don't loan out our broadcasters. What did they take Sam? Give us Kenny.
Yeah, that's a good trade.
What did they take Sam for the game? Let us have Kenny.
Well, if Sam gets the COVID, he might die. They put a young buck in there like Albert to work with Dano.
Should bring in Marv to do the games.
He should, but I think wasn't he critical of the Knicks and Dolan? He didn't like that or something.
I don't know. Probably. God forbid you tell people the truth in the gulag.
I like Simo Saarinen, by the way. It is who's that said that? I can't read with these glasses. The print is too small. Simo Saarinen was a defenseman, and he really looked good. But then I think he got a knee injury, and it was over for him as a Ranger. But anyway, what are we talking about here? We're talking
Brett
about
Howden. The misunderstood Brett Howden.
Oh, shush.
You want to talk to Rock?
Oh, no, because Rock's just going to talk about, they didn't do anything in the offseason, blah, 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 blah.
We'll bring him in anyway. What's up, Rock?
There we go.
Rock shaved his beard. The Rangers lost last night. He was so upset he shaved his beard.
I'm going to shave, too. Freak this.
I had to go back to work, so
okay.
I was on vacation for a little bit.
Nice.
So let me tell you, the off season really was the biggest.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. No, listen, guys. I mean, it's you guys are hitting all the points right on. Their big dogs aren't producing the way they need to be, and it's just so frustrating. It's like, how do you lose to a Devils team that hasn't played since the end of January? Like, how do you not get up for that game? Do they think they're that good that they can just sleepwalk through these bad teams? I mean, they play a great defensive game against Boston 2 games in a row. They couldn't score. They ran into 2 hot goalies. They got robbed. It happens. We've seen this time and time again. And then they come up against this Devil team, and now this guy Blackwood is going to be the new arch nemesis that they can't seem to, Yeah,
he's the new Halak.
So frustrating. It's so frustrating, and you watch these games, and you my friends and I, we talk about this all the time. We get so excited, like you wake up, there's a Ranger game on tonight. You can hardly wait to watch these games.
And then they drop the puck.
You drop the puck, and before you can sit your ass in the seat, they're back on their heels already. I just want to know. You had to see Twitter today. I don't know if you guys were watching. People crying that Trouba's hurt now. They couldn't get this guy out of town fast enough, and now that he's hurt, everyone's all clamoring and all worried that he's. Oh, we lost one of our best defensemen. What are we going to do? Blah blah blah. I said they couldn't get the guy out of town fast enough, and all of a sudden now we're going to miss him. So
right.
So frustrating. Excuse me.
Except for the guy in our group that said it was good news, and then he got picked apart by everybody.
How is it good news to lose your Your second pairing defenseman.
Listen, I mean, the whole Quinn thing to me, I think he's going to get this season. I just think that as an organization, and I've said this 1,000 times, this is not. They don't care if they make the playoffs this year. I hate to say it, they don't care.
Oh, I don't think they do either.
You again, you could just tell by what they've done to improve this team. They just
You're going there again.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to avoid it, but it's just there's no other alternative. And I blame Gordon more, but that's me. That's my opinion.
Right, no,
to me,
I
the
get
coach,
it.
like you said, the coach can't make Mika Zibanejad finish. He did it again last night. He tried to do that forehand backhand move. The book is out. He's got to try something else. You know, they got to generate something different. They got to get different looks, different options. You know, and people were clamoring on Twitter again. The people were talking about bringing D'Angelo back last night. And listen, I think that ship is definitely sailed. Whether I agree with it or not, the ship is definitely sailed, and it is what it is at this point. But now, you know, now they're very thin on defense, and people were actually, I mean, they were actually talking about Jack Johnson coming back today, and that being a positive thing, which sure as hell not. If Jack Johnson plays over a rookie like Tomo Ryunanen or someone like that, then I don't know what their agenda is. I really don't.
I'd rather have Artie Johnson.
I want to see him play for the Devils or the Islanders.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you guys this question: are the Rangers in a free fall, or is this just a temporary thing? What do you think?
Oh, you see their schedule coming up. I mean, last night they needed to win. They needed to win. If you come out like that against a game, you already lost 4 straight. And you're going to come out in a game like that and just completely, for lack of a better expression, shit the bed and just, lose decisively. It wasn't a close game last night. Then listen, I don't know. I think we're in for a rough go here.
At Philly, at Washington, at Philly, home for Boston and Boston, the end of February.
Oh boy!
Loss. If they win one of those games, it'll be a miracle.
By the way, remember the other night I told you I got the email from the girl at the Flyers?
Right.
I showed you that. She called me today. She called me and left a message on my voicemail because I didn't answer her email. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be a nice guy. I'm going to call this girl back. Otherwise, she's not going to leave me alone.
Did she have a hot voice? Is that why you called her back? Like, hey, Jim.
Sounded like she weighed more than me.
Hey.
Woof.
No, I said, and she answers her phone, and I said, "Hi, this is Jim." I said, "This is Jim Schmiedenberg. You just called, left me a message," and she barely even let me finish my sentence before she started to go into her sales pitch. I said, "Let me cut you off." I said, "I'm a Ranger fan." I said, "I have no interest in buying Flyers tickets." I said, "We went to a preseason game last year against the Rangers. That's how you guys got my name and number." I said, I don't want to waste your time. I said, I don't want Flyer fans calling me all day. She's like, "Oh, I really appreciate it." She says, "You'd be amazed how many people just string you along forever and then they don't buy tickets." I said, "Well, I'm not going to string you along, but I'm not going to buy tickets either."
And to me, that's amazing because you think the Flyers have a pretty decent team that they can't get season ticket holders.
Yeah.
These are different times, though.
That might be the best team in the conference.
Yeah, but I just think Mike Keenan.
Yeah.
I think everybody's hurting.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania's been hit hard, like everybody else. Got a lot of people out of work here, so who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I got a thing from the Rangers. They're doing a pre-sale tomorrow for season ticket holders. You get to pick one of the 3 upcoming games. They play Buffalo and Boston twice. The 26th, the 28th, and the 3rd or the 2nd. And the ticket prices range between $50 and $325.
Wow, $325.
So, yeah, but if you sit down low and, you're used to paying that, it's not a big deal. But
what about the rumor we heard that you had to re-up for next season?
I got something today. A friend of mine who was also a season ticket holder mentioned something to me about that. I didn't read it yet. I should have before I came on, but I didn't. I wouldn't be surprised. He mentioned something along those lines. I mean, My thing is if you're a season ticket holder, you're going to re-up anyway. So I mean, it is what it is, unless you can't afford it. And if you can't afford it, that's a totally different thing. But yeah, I don't know. I know you got to take a PCR test 3 days before. They got to take your temperature. You got to wear a mask. Social distance, all that fun stuff. So, I really don't know.
After 15 games or whatever of an empty arena. And anybody that goes back, if you're going to pay $300 just to go sit there by yourself with no fans around you, I think I'm sorry, but you're a sucker. If you pay $300 for a Ranger ticket, you're a sucker. I'm sorry.
Well, if you can afford it, and that's something you like to do.
Yeah, I'm probably not going because my schedule with everything right now. But and having to get the test, it's a pain. It's annoying because you need to get a test 3 days before,
right?
And if you can't, you're stuck. So I'm not even going to bother right now. But
let me ask you guys this: do you think the lack of a crowd at MSG, having fans there, is affecting the team? Nobody really talks about this. But
they seem like they're a totally different team since the bubble. I mean, listen. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. But they played listless hockey in the bubble. This was a team that was flying when the pandemic hit. Flying. They were coming off that. They came back against the Avalanche, great Avalanche team. They tied it up late in that game. They had a good chance of winning. And it's just like ever since the pandemic hit, the bubble, they were just nowhere to be found. And guys just, I don't know. I mean, but every team has to deal with this. It's not just the Rangers.
Right.
So you don't want to look. I mean, they're not the only team affected by this. I don't know if I buy it. But they definitely look like a different team.
I'm just throwing it out there because I think there's this perception, even though we know the Rain playing in Madison Square Garden is not what it used to be. It used to be a very hostile environment to come into.
Oh,
now
it's nowhere near where it used to be.
Get a little bit, they go into New York, they go see New York or the opposing teams, and they come in, and it's a little bit daunting. It's a bigger game for the opposing team to come into Madison Square Garden. At least I view it that way, And since there are no fans, and it's just like any other game, it's just a rink, that may play into why the Rangers look so listless.
I mean, that's Madison Square Garden. Ed. How do you explain the way they play in Philly? Because those fans are brutal. The fans in Washington are brutal. The fans in Boston are brutal. The fans at the Coliseum and the Barclays Center or wherever the hell the Islanders play now are brutal.
But when you play the Islanders, for instance, you go to Barclays, it's not New York. I feel like the other teams, they're coming into New York City. They get, let's see New York for a day. They maybe get distracted. Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. I'm not saying it's a dominating factor, but I'm just saying it's a factor that has been taken away from the Rangers. And the fans that want to be heard can be heard at the Garden. It does get, when the Rangers score, it's an electric thing. There's electricity there. Again, I'm not blaming on but I think it might be a factor because you're saying they've been listless since the bubble.
Honestly, I thought as a young team with no fans in the building that they would be more comfortable. They wouldn't have as much things to worry about. Fans booing, fans screaming, shoot. The normal nonsense that you hear at a game. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think the team, to me, I don't know if I can use that as an excuse. I think the team is too young to know the difference. But then again, like I said, that's a great question, and only they know. I mean, it's they just haven't played well since the bubble. They've been a mediocre team since then.
Because I was thinking, like, Keandre Miller got his first goal, a couple weeks back, and there was no crowd to cheer him on. Like, he's never heard an NHL crowd celebrate a goal of his.
Right.
And, so it's interesting. I don't think it's the main factor, but I know every other team has to deal with this. But the Rangers are kind of a special breed.
Right. Yeah, it's a unique situation for everybody. I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I would bring it up. Jim, what do you think about it? I also wanted to say, on the other hand, a lot of teams will get up to come into New York and play the Rangers. You know, if they want to win at Madison Square Garden, so it can work either way.
Yeah.
What about
that's
you, Jim?
true.
Anything?
I don't know. Every team's dealing with it, so I don't see. If it is affecting them, then that's pretty fucking lame, if you ask me. Just get out there and play. I mean, just get out there and play. Who cares? There's fake. Can't they hear the fake noise? Is Joe? They can hear Joe Micheletti from the ice, and he's distracting them. Maybe that's what it is. Would distract me. So, all right, listen, Rock. We're gonna let you go. We're gonna finish this up by 8.
For letting me vent. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Anytime.
Yes,
we'll talk.
later.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, Rock. Bye.
I think I'd just throw it out there. I mean, you know, I'm trying to explain this just like you are, trying to figure out what's going on. And there he is.
Trying to make sense of it all.
Rangers hockey, baby.
Baby, not baby, baby.
Baby, okay.
Baby.
Thank you for correcting me.
You're welcome. I'm telling you, this guy's 1 foot out the door.
Oh!
Quinn is 1 foot out the door. I'm telling you right now. If it continues like this, I mean, it might be time for a new voice. You know, I mentioned this last night at the post game show. And mentioned at the last on the last show. This I mean, if he can't get these guys, I said the defense is great. The defense wouldn't change a thing. If the offense can't get going, then I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I mean, you can't fire the players. You can't fire the players.
There was rumors about getting rid of Chris Kreider and
get that. God. That guy fleeced us. He fucking fleeced us, just like Jacob Trouba fleeced us.
We got sold to get off Trouba's back.
He's hurt.
How can you say the defense is playing well and then say Trouba fleeced us? He's the leader on the defense.
Yeah. I mean, but
You mean
Oh man, I mean that contract's gonna.
Kreider brings it every night.
That fucking contract's gonna haunt us. I'm telling you right now. Both those contracts are gonna fucking haunt us.
We got Captain.
At least what's his name comes as advertised. I mean, yeah, he's not playing that good this season, but Panarin comes as advertised. Would you agree with that?
Panarin is advertised. Look at his point totals. I don't care how he looks.
I said outside of this
advertised.
Outside of this season, Panarin has come as advertised, correct?
Dare you even question the great bread man? They can't even sniff the goal mouth without him.
That's not good. That ain't good. I mean, is he like the stir the drink? Is he the straw that stirs the drink?
He's the only guy with any talent. He's the only guy who does something above the ordinary. The rest of the guys are all a bunch of stiffs.
Really? You think the Z-Bat is stiff?
He's a stiff with his one goal. Get out of here. Cut your hair, you long-haired hippie. You're not going DJing at the psychedelic bar.
You were saying that last season, I'll tell you that.
I wasn't. But you know what? This is this year. That was last year. Right. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Stop DJing at your psychedelic parties there, dropping your the ecstasy. Hey DJ, why don't you play me a goal? I got a request. Score a goal, DJ.
Yeah. Rock said it best. You got to throw away the playbook. You got to get a new play for Zibanejad. A lot of these guys, you got to get a new playbook. I mean, I think everybody's figured out Zibanejad, the way he plays. Right? Would you agree with that?
He gets his chances. Yeah, I mean, there are certain moves he does. He certainly should have more goals than he has. I mean, it's not all not for the lack of effort. He's got a lot of effort, but it's frustrating.
I think there's some people out there just don't give a shit, just going through the motions.
Well, then the coach has to go.
I mentioned
Mika Zibanejad has one more point than Brett Howden.
I mentioned this. I think they might be tuning him out. We don't know. We can't get in their heads.
Well, how many times can the coach say the same thing? The players have to take accountability. They're getting paid the money. Score a goal.
Somebody's got
Christ, how much time do we have to talk about it? Jesus Christ, how much time do we have to talk about it?
Thank you, Torts.
Thank you, Torts.
I mean, what does it take? Somebody has to break sticks, fucking just throw, like that.
Yeah, there's got to be in the locker room.
So.
Get a veteran guy in there.
Man.
Get a veteran guy in there who can play, and a guy says, "Listen, what's wrong with you? You can't score."
All I know is if one of us was in there, things would be broken. If I was there, things would be broken.
Costa, if you were in the Rangers locker room, that would be it.
I'd seriously question the scouting department on this team.
No, imagine they like.
And at least I knew they weren't getting any psychological profiles of their players.
Remember when HBO used to do that documentary? What was that called?
Taxi Cab Confessions?
Yes, that show. The show
the
Hot Sex?
Thing.
No.
The Winter Classic thing. I remember. Yeah.
When they used to follow the team around?
Yeah, right. Yep. That's where we got all the Torts
24/7.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Real Sex.
Jesus
Real
Christ,
Sex
how much
9?
time do we have to talk about it?
Don't shit your pants. Kessel comes down.
Phil Kessel. He's a great player. Don't shit your pants on him.
Keep your fucking, what's it called? Keep
your fucking discipline here now.
Yeah, that's it.
I know them all.
It's just, I don't know. It's very frustrating. I didn't get the results of the underground poll. What do they want? Do they want him gone or what? Quinn. Did anybody?
Divided.
Divided. I think it's our first knee-jerk reaction to go after the coach. And in a lot of cases, it's right. I mean, with some of the teams that I follow. But with
Keep your fucking discipline here now.
Thank you, Torts.
The man was a walking soundbite, that's for sure.
He still is. But
we haven't felt this way we haven't felt this way about this team in a long ass time. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'm pretty down on them. I very hard to find a positive to talk about with the Rangers other than their penalty killing. And who the hell wants to talk about that?
And their defense, for that matter.
Yeah, they just keep losing. I mean, I feel again. Wow, the wheel of blame. Half the slot should be David Glenn. I don't know. I don't know how you make players score. Yes, Gabrick buying that Christmas tree. That's true. His last Christmas in New York.
Right.
Torch drove him out.
Before the Grinch that stole Christmas. The torch that stole Christmas.
So, I don't know. I mentioned pretty much all I got to vent here. I mean, I don't have any answers except score.
Right.
But it's starting to turn into a shit show with these injuries now. Because you got a shortened season. Now you're going to have to play some iffy guy on defense in the sixth position. Now you're going to no Filipino still. You hope.
Do we know when Heedle's coming back?
It was just 4 to 6 weeks originally. That's all I've heard.
Hasn't it been like 12 weeks? This season literally feels like 4 months already.
The games that are postponed and all this stuff, it's like I feel like we were like a year and a half into the season. But I'm still going to watch. I mean, something's got to happen. And one other positive is these third and fourth liners have been scoring. So if the big guys could put it together, the fat cats, you might see some wins. But last year I felt it was the opposite. The guys a lot of guys had career years, but third and fourth line guys are like, no one's ever going to score. Who do we have on the fourth line last year? Oh, Vinny Lettieri. Who else do we have?
Was Fox in the fourth line?
Oh, that other clown. Was that a clown? Who's that clown we had from Carolina that was on the team?
Fost?
No. He was on Carolina and he came to the Rangers.
Not Gautier.
No. Somebody help me remember.
Well, they had Greg McKegg.
Yes,
was fourth
Greg
line.
McKegg, he was a loser. I mean, Colin Blackwell's outplayed him already.
Gettinger played a couple of games on the fourth line.
Nobody else.
Brendan Smith was putting in some time at forward last year. Booney Eves played a couple of games.
he got the organization got rid of him real quick. That whole Greg McKegg thing, and I don't know. I feel like the muckers are doing their jobs. It's the guys that had career years last year just are not even having mediocre years. They're having
Vlad Nemestikov has 4 goals already this year.
But Brett Howden's better though.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, well, again, you got to justify that trade, man. That's why he's playing. Got to justify the trade.
I agree too.
It's. I mean, again, we all. I said this and Rock said this. We can't fleece everyone, man. It can't be like Zibanejad and fucking Brassard.
They're playing Brett Howden to justify a trade they made 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Then how come Rob O'Gara isn't in the top 3 defensemen on the team? How come we don't have Rob O'Gara anymore?
Rob O'Gara was one of the worst defensemen I've ever seen suit up for the New York Rangers.
To justify the Rick Nash trade.
I will say Jack Johnson is real close.
God.
All right. Well, listen, Brett Howden is staying at. I don't know.
No hands Howden.
Either that or he's one of these coaches' favorites.
Oh, yeah. He knows where the bodies are buried. Brett Howden knows where the fucking bodies are buried. That's what it is. And no, it's get it right. It's no hands Howden. Get it right. No
Brett knows that David Quinn kill a hooker and Brett Howden saw him do it.
Maybe,
or maybe he
Quinn the Ripper.
Or maybe
are you getting that from anonymous sources?
Remember,
reporting that he is a sociopathic murderer. David
remember the bit I had about what's his name had connections? Who the fuck was it? Who the fuck's that guy? Who was the player? Fucking who the fuck it was?
Matt Cook?
No. On the Rangers. I told him, hey, he had got connections. That's why he's still on the team. He got connections. What?
Letary?
No. Before that. Fuck.
All right.
He was a fucking
We'll give you a week to think about it.
Nick Holden.
No. He was a forward. He was a forward. Fucking
Speaking of Nick Holden, what do you guys think about this Las Vegas, these helmets they're wearing?
The gold ones?
Yeah. I think it looks mega stupid.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Jim, can you post a picture of these helmets?
Yeah. Golden. Knights. Whoops. Helmet.
And how are the Vegas Knights out of the they're an expansion team a couple of years ago. They're still good. Rangers are around for 70 years. They can't put a field a good team.
What do you think?
Money? Bettman?
Yeah, it's good for business, man. We got to prop these guys up. Got to prop them up. You know what I'm saying? Got to prop all these teams up. You know.
Kevin. Was it Kevin? I can't see.
Oh, you don't think they went to the cup for the first year? That wasn't by design. That was no agenda. Come on now.
Agenda, my friend.
Come on.
I don't know. They seem to have a good team. Marc-Andre Fleury's playing really well.
That helmet that they're wearing?
Imagine they wore that helmet.
That'd be great.
No, like that, but it's like a cocky helmet.
Yeah, it's a cat. I know. He's making a joke.
It's a gold helmet. A gold hockey helmet.
Oh, you mean they're not wearing a real? Was it one of these? Is it one of those?
Man.
I don't know. I don't like them. It's too show business.
Yeah, oh, here it is. Here it is. These chrome helmets. Here it is. That's it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, those are it. Yep.
Yeah, that deal.
It's Vegas, baby.
I know, but I don't know. It's a little over the top.
Got to be showy.
Too showy.
All right, Costa.
All right.
Nice seeing you, man.
We'll talk to you next week.
Late.
Bye-bye. All right. You said an hour. You did an hour and 6. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Come back Monday night?
We'll come back Monday night and we'll have answers.
No, I think we'll have more questions.
That's what I think so too.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe. Going to get a lot of snow tomorrow. Again, Eddie, always a pleasure.
Keep the faith, brethren.
Keep the faith.
Once we move Houghton, everything will get straightened out.
That's the key. All right. We'll see you guys Monday night. We love you. Good night, everybody.